Hi everyone, how are you? It's hard for me every time I start recording a video to decide what to say. Is it good morning, good evening, good afternoon? I don't know. It's 4:30 a.m. Only when my kids sleep is it possible for me to record a video. You know how hectic my life is with having two babies at home? And I know that your life is also exhausting because you lack the motivation to have distant learning. Distant learning, is something new for us. Let's try to, I know it's challenging, I know it's exhausting, and I know that you don't have the necessary motivation to continue. Let's try our best. Were we in the class, things would be different. We would discuss, we would debate, we would have conversations about any recent issues, any current issues in our life. Let's try to find a topic. What's the best topic that might be interesting for you? Maybe food? For me it is. Do you think that you might be interested in reading the recipes telling us how to prepare a certain type of food, like pizza, lasagna? I'm interested. A chef in a restaurant might be interested. Is it possible for you to read about the advertisement promoting the Big Mac? I'm not, because I'm not, no offense, because I'm not a big fan of McDonald's. You might be. Before I started watching Money Heist, I read a lot of reviews about it just to know whether to start or not. I was interested to know whether to start or whether it takes time. And now everyone is reading articles and reading about health news to know whether we're on the safe side or not. Here, the minister is telling us that we're still in the eye of the storm. Hopefully things will change soon. Everyone is reading and everyone is interested in certain topics. We are the audience, and any writer, we're the audience. And while choosing a topic, guys, while writing a certain piece of writing, any piece of writing, the author has the audience in his mind. He's writing his piece of writing in order to address the audience. He's writing because he's trying to send a message, to give a piece of advice, to raise their awareness, to encourage them to do something, maybe to give them the responsibility to change, to inspire them. So the audience is the main focus of the writer. We have three types of audience. We have the general reader, the one who's reading anything. We might have a newspaper and read everything. We're skimming. We're trying to find something that might be interesting for us. But we read generally. We're not interested in a certain topic. Anyone can read anything. We're all general readers. If you start reading a topic that you're interested in, you're choosing a certain topic, so you go to the second level. You're the interested reader. As a mom, I'm interested in reading about issues related to raising kids, the best techniques to manage their anger, let's say, to have discipline, to teach them good strategies to use later in life. So I'm interested in these issues. As teenagers, you might be interested in reading about the challenges that you might face and how to tackle these challenges or solve the issues that you might face, like peer pressure, anxiety, addiction, gaming addiction. NGO members might be interested in reading about issues related to their society, like the menaces that we might face, and possible solutions, and try to find possible solutions to overcome them. We go to the third level. Now we're talking about specialist readers. Specialist readers are specialized in a certain domain. I'm a teacher. This is my domain. This is my field of study. So I try to gain more knowledge. I try to accumulate my knowledge, gain more information about the topic I'm specialized in. I might read about techniques, strategies related to teaching, classroom management, how to have more better relation with my students, how to improve my language. So I'm a specialist reader reading about my field of study. Environmentalists might be interested in reading about issues like climate change, global warming, any hazardous issues related to the environment. Psychologists might read about the psychological issues related to their patients and try to offer solutions for these psychological issues. Government officials might read about the problems that the society or the country is passing through, because this is their mission, this is their domain. So the questions, we have different types of questions, but mainly we have to identify the type of audience, or we have to identify the audience. There is no need to specify the type. So I'm not going to ask you to tell me whether this one is interested or specialist. I can simply say government officials, let's say, or environmentalists. That's enough. I don't need to specify the type. But mainly, you have to give me the interest of each type, the interest of each of the chosen audience. So if you say the environmentalist, you have to tell me why he is interested in reading this type of writing or this piece of writing. You can't simply say the environmentalist and that's it, unless I ask you just to identify the audience. And rarely do we ask such a question. This is a piece of writing. We have 3 paragraphs talking about childhood. You have to read it, take your time, read it, identify the main idea. Once you get the main idea, you know who the interested or the targeted audience is. You have to specify at least 2 types of audience. Here we have the journalists. They might read this type of article. I have to specify why. They are interested simply because they want to highlight the agonies of street children who roam streets to earn a living. I can add, what's the point of highlighting the agonies in order to find a solution? Government officials, I have to say officials, members, because it's not enough to say government. You have to add this word. If you say government without officials, you're not gonna get any grade. Third type, members of humanitarian organizations. And I mentioned the interest. I mentioned the reason why they are reading this article or this piece of writing. Now, this is your job. I have an article. Go to Google, read this article. It's talking about how Lebanese families and teachers are trying to find methods in order to survive, maybe, in order to stay up to date. Read it and try to find at least 2 types of audience or 2 audiences with the interest of each. Thank you for listening.